Good afternoon. I hope that you are doing well this afternoon. I would like to continue the conversation about the diplomatic relations between South Africa and the United States of America, particularly that recorded meeting that is 1 hours, but particularly looking at the opening exchanges and looking at diplomatic protocol and also looking at courtesy. If Donald Trump asks President Ramaphosa, "Where did you get my number?" Is he saying to him, "You are very good at research because you have got my real number and you spoke to me and we arranged this meeting. This is an arranged meeting that we've talked about for some time because we knew it was in the calendar and it was coming and we are prepared for it to make decisions that are important, responding to the global challenges that face the world at present, such as what the AfriForum represented as a white genocide in South Africa, saying that people are being attacked in farms. Of course, you can see how the farms are designed. That people need a private security for self-defense purposes to defend themselves from attackers in daylight and also at night, where the dangers become less visible. Uh, Perhaps President Donald Trump was asking President Cyril Ramaphosa if he's able to use the phone book or if he's able to search the internet and contact the embassy of the United States in South Africa or the consul to get the numbers of President Donald Trump or to deploy certain people to do that, a whole department of international relations to do that, to find President Donald Trump's real number and call it and arrange a meeting with him in the White House. Uh, this now, in my mind, brings a question to say, how do you even know if we are saying that there was once a Cold War? How do you even know that that building that you call the U.S. Embassy is a United States building? Maybe it's the Russians who just put an American flag and put white people there who can speak English, and then you think you are going to America, but you are going to Russia in actual fact because they are controlling your movements and making you move according to the Warsaw Pact instead of the NATO, according to a previous agreement that the MK had with the Soviet bloc and also, of course, with the Warsaw Pact, if we look at it that way. Of course, perhaps what Donald Trump was reminding Cyril Ramaphosa about was to say, I was in trouble in New York. They're bringing cases against me of fraud and all kinds of private matters which happened during the campaign. But you never called me during that time. Why were you not calling me when I was in trouble and only calling me now when I'm the president of the United States? Perhaps it's just telling someone that your friends forget about you when you are in trouble, even if you've helped them with the vaccines and everything like that. So that is why the United States, according to what Trump has always been saying, is withdrawing its help to people who only take from it but do not support its interests when it comes to the diplomatic table, whether at the UN or at the G20 or the G8 or wherever, in any international forum, even in NAFTA, if the Mexicans are benefiting more than the Americans, they want that to be corrected, which is something that the South Africans themselves must ask themselves. Uh, if we are pursuing African trade, who is benefiting at a net level from that trade? Are we saying if we're having a Pan-Africanist view that we must all benefit from African trade in an equal manner? Or are we saying that Uh, there will be competition, and then there will be differentiated outcomes. So some people will specialize in certain products. For example, if you have a lot of forest, you will be involved in forestry. If you have a lot of sugarcane, you'll be involved in the sugarcane industry, its whole supply chain and its production chain. Or if you are in the fishing market, for example, you'll understand everything about the fish market and also understand everything about the taxi industry. If you are in the taxi industry or uh, in the airplane industry, for example. So what we have to also ask ourselves is during President Biden's time, because Donald Trump is coming back from out of office for 4 years. So, what were the diplomatic relations between South Africa and the USA? What were the agreements? Have those agreements expired, or were they long-term agreements? Should they continue to be implemented, or has Trump or President Donald Trump signed executive orders which go against those agreements? So that is the diplomatic work that was supposed to be done, or maybe was done before the meeting took place. Thank you very much.